Welcome everyone to Coláiste Mhuire Johnstown webinar for incoming first years 2021. My name is Anya Monan and I'm a transfer coordinator here within the school and a business studies teacher. Within this webinar we have 4 speakers, our principal Mr Martin Gleeson, our deputy principal Miss Angela Conroy and our homeschool liaison officer Miss Mary Birch and our canteen administrator Kelly Luby. They're all going to give you an insight into different areas of our school and how it works. I'm going to pass you on to our principal, Mr Martin Gleeson now, who will get started on the webinar with our transfer programme.
Okay, thanks Anya. Martin Gleeson is my name, the principal of Coláiste Mhuire, and again I'd like to welcome you all to our webinar for 2021 intake. Unfortunately, as I said, we can't have an open night, so this is in replacement of that, and it's just to give you some information and hopefully answer some queries and questions that you might have in relation to Coláiste Mhuire and in sending your son or daughter here next year. So the first thing I'm going to go through is the transfer programme. And I would have made visits to the primary school back a few weeks ago, and that's where you would have got the stage 1 application forms through that. We also have a virtual tour of Coláiste Mhuire in Johnstown, and that is on our website www.colaistemhuirekk.ie. And if you have any time, please take time to have a look at that, and you can walk around our school and see what we have on offer. We also do tours of the school by request only, and obviously with the COVID era we're restricted to that. And if you would like to make an appointment to see us in school, you can do that through info@colaistemhuirekk.ie by sending us an email. You will have all sent in the stage 1 applications now, and the deadline for that was November the 5th. Our stage 2 forms, which you will have received in the post, and they have to be returned by Thursday the 3rd of December, which is a very important date. We will be looking for further information on that than what you would have put on the stage 1 application forms. Also, there's policies that you must sign up to: our code of behaviour, our ICT acceptable use policy, and these are on our website, and we would encourage you to have a look at them before you sign them off. And it's quite a long process to filling out the stage 2 forms, but it's important that we get these policies signed up now before a son or daughter should start in the school. We also have a section on our GDPR, and it's tick boxes, and that is allowing us to use some information and personal information, whether it be photographs or video images of your son or daughter. So again, we'd request that you'd fill that out before you start in Coláiste Mhuire. And one of the last sections then, which is very important, is the subject choices of what they might like to do, subjects that they would like to do when they come into Coláiste Mhuire, and I will go through some more of that with you. So following the deadline date of December the 3rd, our SEN coordinator will be in contact with the primary school to get some further information, and that's part of the transfer programme that's on offer. We always run an entrance exam in February, and this may have to change to the COVID restrictions, but at presently we will be aiming for February, and that might have to change, as I say, depending on where we are with COVID. We also run an Easter camp every year for students, and that's over 4 days. And again, unfortunately, it's COVID restricted, so hopefully we'll be in a position to run it at Easter. So first year students then will come back in September or in August, and they're in before any other students should come into the school, and that just gives them a time to settle into their new environment and to get to know one another. We have guidance classes in September at the start of the year, and also a bonding day where the first years are given the opportunity to get to know one another. Our subjects are core examinable subjects for our junior cycle. We have maths, which they will be doing as a base class when they come, and depending on numbers we have to break them into base classes. So maths, English and Irish they will do in their base class. If they should have an exemption in Irish, at that stage they won't have to sit Irish. That follows through, and they will get some extra learning support, extra maths or extra English at that time. Our other core subjects that we run in Coláiste Mhuire are geography, history, business and science, and these will all be in with some of these are in base classes, but the science it's a mixed class that there won't be in our group, and that runs into our option blocks. Our optional subjects, as part of our transfer programme, we also run a 5-week taster sampling programme, and from that students will have to pick 3 of the subjects, which will make up their 10 examinable subjects for the junior cycle. So as part of it, in the 5-week taster programme, they will be doing French, Spanish, technical graphics, junior engineering, which would previously be known as metalwork, technology, wood, which is woodwork, home economics, art or music, and from that they have to opt for 3 of them subjects, and I previously said 10 examinable subjects for the junior cycle. We also, over the 3 years, they will be running coding or digital literacy for 2 class periods per week, and religious education for 2 class periods a week. We have to run 400 hours over the 3 years of the junior cycle has to be dedicated for well-being. So SPHE, or social and personal health education, is 1 class period per week. CSP, civic, social, political education, is 1 class per week, and physical education is 2 classes per week. Well-being then is we have dedicated 1 class period per week, and that's a non-modular based, and we're lucky that we're signed up with the GA for the Going Well programme, one of very few schools to be in that programme, and that is the Going Well programme. And other modules that we will run in the well-being are problem solving. Examples will be problem solving, budgeting, communication skills, presentation skills and building confidence, guidance classes, friends for life, and mindfulness. So as I said, over the 3 years we have 400 hours of well-being in our programme. So a sample of our an example timetable that your son or daughter will have once they start and once they have chosen all their subjects after the sampling will break down into this. So you see that when they get it, it's colour coded. So here you have red is your English, 4 classes of English, 4 classes of Irish, and so on, and that makes up their classes. You can see that we finish a little bit earlier on a Friday, where it's a 1:10 finish, but the curriculum is covered throughout the week. Moving on from the junior cycle, for the Leaving certificate subjects, again our core subjects are English, Irish and Maths. The elective subjects, you have accountancy, Spanish, French, history, geography and music. In the science then you have biology, chemistry, agricultural science, physics. You also have home economics, DCG, which is a follow-on from the technical graphics. You have engineering, which is again follow-on from the junior cycle engineering. Construction studies, which is a follow-on from technology woodwork. Business and art. And the non-examinable subjects are PE, religious education and guidance. Where our students go and progress on to. This is just a sample of some of our students from the 2020 Leaving Certificate and the points that they've got. So we've got a student that achieved 613 points in his Leaving Cert, and he's now doing engineering in UCD. And you can see we have primary school teaching with 591, 566, business in UL, and so on. You can see that all the subjects they would take for the junior cycle and the Leaving Cert cycle, it takes them on to any of the courses that we have in the universities or in any of the colleges in Ireland. We don't just pride ourselves here on the high achievers, the high academic achievers, but we try and meet the needs of all students. And college isn't for everyone, and we do recognise that, and we appreciate that. A lot of our students will move on to third, as I said, about 60 to 70% of our students each year will move on to third level college. But 10 to 15% will also want to do further education and some PLC courses. And that also leads them, if they're successful and if they want to, they can move in and move on to third level college. It doesn't stop them from doing so. And 15 to 20% of our students here who wouldn't opt to do a PLC course or may not want to go to college always fall into the world of work and into the apprenticeship route. So we do pride ourselves that we fulfil the needs of all our students here, and it's not just those that might want to go to third level college. Again, our extracurricular activities, we have a huge array of extracurricular activities within the sporting field. We have camogie, we have the hurling, we have soccer, we have basketball, we have girls soccer, again the GAA, we have handball, we run chess club, we have badminton, and we have trad band for those that are interested, that runs at lunchtime. And other extracurricular activities would include those on the board, and at some stage throughout their school career or through their time in Coláiste Mhuire, they will get opportunities to do other extracurricular activities, whether it be in Leaving Cert Applied or in the transition year programme. There's a lot of extracurricular activities throughout their 6 years in Coláiste Mhuire. So in Coláiste Mhuire, Office 365 is the platform that we use for learning within our school. It's a cloud-based system, and it's built of an array of different aspects, including Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, some that you might be aware of, but we also use Teams as a huge part of it. And it's a collaboration space for staff and for students, and it allows for students presentations, for assignments, for homework, and for storing of notes and storing of documents. And the big thing about it is it allows access from devices in school and from home. So any information or any work that they do is safe to the cloud, and it's a safe storage space that is used. And we also use it for blended learning, which came to the fore with school closure for running live lessons and for running recorded lessons. So if your student should come here, it's the Office 365 is the platform that we use here.
Hi, I'm Angela Conroy, Deputy Principal in the school here in Coláiste Mhuire, and I'm just going to go through some very practical areas that you need to know about if you're enrolling your son or daughter in our school. The first area is one of our main communication systems, which is VSware. So when your son or daughter enrolls in the school, we will send you out login details for VSware. And when you log in, we use VSware as kind of a school management system. So you will see your son or daughter's timetable on it. Also your contact details that can only be changed by our administration office. We also use VSware for recording attendance. You'll be able to see their attendance record, and also for communicating with students about their, communicating with parents about their students' progress through term reports. So we use a policy where we assess students. We have 3 assessments per term, and then at the end of each term you get a term report. So when you log in, you'll see term reports here. You'll be able to click on that and see any comments and feedback from teacher about how your son or daughter is getting on in all their tests and in their Christmas and summer report. Also on VSware you will see the behaviour records, and the behaviour records are both affirmation for good behaviour in school, but also you'll be able to see if there's any negative behaviours, and we have a point system there that class teachers and year head monitor as the students go through the year. So on VSware as well, there'll be a picture of your son or daughter here, and if you have more than one son or daughter in the school, these little arrows under the picture is what you use to scroll between the different accounts. Wait to Pay is a new system we have this year for making school payments. The main school payment is our school fees for the book rental scheme, but then throughout the life of your son or daughter in the school, there may be other fees that you have to pay. So what happens is, once you get your login details and you enter your phone number, if there's a fee due from school, you get a text sent to your phone. And when you tap on that text, there's a link into Wait to Pay, where it's very straightforward, using your debit card or credit card to pay the fee to the school. So it's a cashless system. And as we said, the main annual fee is for book rental. And that will also include things like lockers, school insurance, and any payments towards exams or exam material. So a book rental fee is a very good value system, and particularly for books. So you'll be getting the details of the book rental scheme in your Stage 2 forms. And I suppose most parents would say that the book rental system really reduces the cost of paying for textbooks. And so payment dates and deadlines will be sent out to you once you enroll your son or daughter into school, and you pay it all through our Wait to Pay system. I suppose one of the key things that parents worry about when students are starting in secondary school is how they're going to settle in. And we feel we have a very good pastoral caring system here in the school for students, particularly in first year, that we've developed a lot over the last couple of years. Our main pastoral systems are our class tutor and year head system. So each class, when they come into the school, each base class will be assigned a class teacher. And that teacher is their kind of the go-to person who helps to solve the small problems the students may have in the first few months until they find their feet. Over each year then you have a year head, and they oversee the whole year. And they put supports in place for students, and they meet with students through assemblies. They drop into classes, have a chat with the first years, particularly in the first month and the first term of their time with us in Coláiste Mhuire, to make sure they're settling in. Our other support structures would be our school home liaison community officer Mary Birch, our guidance counsellor Valerie Dempsey. We do have a pastoral care team who meet weekly in the school. We have a special educational needs team for any student who have special needs that need to be looked after. And then our other services you're going to hear about: our school canteen, after school study and homework club. We feel in Coláiste Mhuire that to try and address issues at a low level is the best thing to help resolve them. So it's very important, I suppose, in secondary school that you encourage your son or daughter to talk directly to their teacher if they're struggling or if they're under pressure. But you're always welcome as well to contact the year head if you feel there's an issue that needs to be addressed, and to discuss it with them, and they will resolve it with you. We do have Homework Club. Now, Homework Club is particularly for first years and second years when they start in Coláiste Mhuire, to get them into good habits of doing homework. Particularly maybe if they haven't got that space at home where they can work and get support. So in our Homework Club we always have a classroom assistant, we have a teacher, and this year we've introduced a teacher who specialises in supporting them with maths, because that's an area that a lot of students would struggle with. Before they go into Homework Club, they have a short break where they get a snack, and then you will have to collect them afterwards at around 5:30. We usually have it set up and running fairly early in the first term in September. Evening study is kind of targeted towards exam students, so third years and sixth years primarily. They get kind of the first option of it, and that goes from 4 o'clock until 6:15, again Monday to Thursday. There is a fee for that, for evening study, but Homework Club is a free support we offer to students who need it. Our disciplinary procedures, we would say in Coláiste Mhuire that generally speaking students are very cooperative, and there's a very good rapport between students and teachers. Again, the message is early intervention, so we would say that if low-level issues will be dealt with by the teacher and usually solved between the teacher and the student themselves. But then the class tutor or year head will intervene if they feel that students need to be corrected over something. And our approach to disciplinary issues is always to give them the opportunity themselves, first of all, to correct what they're doing before we enter any areas such as sanctions. One of the areas that we have to take action as a school, and we have a policy up on our website, is our anti-bullying policy. Now again, we would say that in Coláiste Mhuire we have very few issues in relation to bullying, but it does crop up from time to time, and it's going back to that one statement, that early intervention. We believe that if we sit down and we address the issues with students, it doesn't become a big issue. And in a lot of times with any bullying issues, we try and go down a restorative approach, get students talking to one another and try to deal with it that way, to educate them about their behaviour. So finally, one issue that is very important to students when they're changing school is the school uniform. And over here we have two models that were kindly lent to us by our uniform suppliers, which are Paul's in Kilkenny. So these are our school uniforms, items. So for girls and boys, they both wear the royal blue jumper that has a grey trim on the collar and cuffs, and a white shirt or a revere blouse for the girls. The girls have the option of wearing the trousers, but most of the girls opt for the skirt, which has a double pleat front and back. And you probably can't see it there on the camera, but there's a very fine blue line, royal blue line, as a pattern in the skirt. The skirt must be worn to the knee. For boys, they have the grey trousers, and also this is our school jacket that we kind of introduced a couple of years ago, and it's proving to be very popular with students, particularly at the moment in school when classrooms have to be well ventilated due to COVID. So this is our school jacket. And also then, as regards footwear, we expect that students wear grey socks and they wear shoes. So they must wear proper shoes. They can be black, they can be brown or navy. We don't accept runners, canvas shoes or boots. On the days they have the PE this year, we do have a green school t-shirt, a polo t-shirt. Now, we'll be the first to admit that that needs to be updated. So this year, because of COVID restrictions and dressing rooms being out of bounds, on the day they have PE, students are allowed to wear PE gear to school. So we expect them to wear either the PE t-shirt or a t-shirt, a loose-fitting tracksuit bottoms. They can wear runners on that day, and they can wear a hoodie as well as their school jacket. So that's the information regarding our school uniform. Just very important that all school uniform items are labelled. So just once again to thank Paul's and Kilkenny, who are our official uniform suppliers, and they are happy to start taking orders for school uniforms as early as February. Now the current price list we put up on our website, that might change slightly in 2021. So I'll now hand over to Mary Birch, who is going to talk to you about her role as Hove's School Community and Liaison Officer.
Hello, my name is Mary Birch. and I look forward to being your home school community liaison officer next year. My role is primarily to support your child's attendance in school, retention to Leaving Cert, and participation in all aspects of school life: social, cultural, sporting, and most importantly, academic. We try to encourage the children to attend every day. For our junior cycle students, we have an in to be out passport, whereby their passports are stamped every day they attend. They're also stamped if they have medical certification for their illness, and they're entitled then, if they're a full stamped passport, to 2 trips. We have monthly attendance raffles. We have students who take part in our attendance committee. On a more serious note, I work closely with the Educational Welfare Officer, the Legal Officer of Tulsa, and if we have a student who has unacceptable absence levels, we have to bring it to the attention of this officer. We have a wide variety of school activities for parents. We have a parents' book club, coffee mornings for first year parents where they have the opportunity to meet other parents and swap telephone numbers, evening classes, wide variety from gardening to beauty therapy to cookery classes. And then we have college information evenings, and we visit various campuses of popular universities. I am the direct line of communication between the home and the school. I have my own office contact number, and I'm available for home visits. I have an open door policy. My job, in short, is to ensure that your child attends every day, is happy, and avails of every opportunity that is presented during their school career. My objective is to encourage you, the parent, to take part in our activities, to contribute to school life, to be empowered to support your child's education, and to become a valued and active member of your school community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Kelly. I'm here to give you an insight into the canteen here in Johnstown School. For those of you familiar with the school, you know that Pat Long is the manager and runs the canteen here in Johnstown. I'm proud to say Pat is my mother. She's the most dedicated woman I know, and she gives up every spare time she has to the school and canteen. She strives very hard every day to produce good quality, wholesome food for both students and teachers alike. The food here in the canteen is prepared fresh every day on site. Now, we cater for all types of requirements, dietary requirements, between vegetarian, celiac, diabetic, nut allergies, anything that may be required, and people can talk to us near the time about that. Now, Pat can't run the canteen on her own. She has a good backing of canteen staff with her. So the girls and myself work hard every day to prepare your orders that are placed by the students on a weekly basis. So they prepare them fresh every day to the highest standards possible. I work the office and will be dealing with any queries or issues you may have regarding our new online ordering system that has come into place this year. Now, to run the canteen as smoothly as we do, we need a strong support system. And for that, the school, we work very closely with the vice principal and the principal and all staff members. The canteen wouldn't run as well without the interest they have in the canteen. So just moving on to how the canteen actually functions. We have 4 clubs. There's a breakfast club, a light lunch, dinner and study club. Now I'll touch base on them in a second, but we also do an online ordering system. Like I said, this is new to the canteen. We won't talk too much about it this evening. You'll be introduced to that near the time. And the canteen is a healthy options canteen, so it's subsidised. You'll see that as we go on through the food. So just starting with the breakfast club. This is available from 8 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week. It's available to every student that attends Johnstown School. Now, as we have to run a grab and go system at the minute, the package we have designed for breakfast is a freshly baked croissant every morning, some apple or orange juice and a piece of fruit. And like I said, this is free to everybody who attends, but it has to be ordered prior to collection. The next then is light lunch, or small break as we probably know it better as. Now this is only a small selection of food supplied in the canteen. The pictures here are actually food made in the canteen. This is done on an everyday basis, and what's available at light lunch is also available at lunchtime. And again, it's an ordering system, so you can pre-order, you can take your time have a look what's there and order what you require for the week ahead. There's a huge selection from Caesar salads to homemade scones, brown bread, vegetable soup. We do hot food like paninis, wraps. There's a wide selection, and we do everything we supply or provide is vegetarian based and gluten free based if required. So next is the dinner selection. We do block dinners at the minute, so our dinners, what we have on a Monday is going to be the same Monday for the term. Now here's an example of a few. We have anything from roast beef to pasta bolognese, and again we cater for any dietary requirements. The price of a dinner here at present in Johnstown is $1.50. So if you avail of breakfast, light lunch, dinner and study club, the maximum any parent would pay per day is $3.50. And they'll get fed for 4 breaks if you like. The next then is study club. This is also free, so like Angela was saying earlier, if they avail of study or homework club, they will get a filled roll, either juice or water and a piece of fruit, and again this is free. Now this is available 4 days a week, and study doesn't take place on a Friday. Once your son and daughter then is enrolled in the school, we will contact you regarding the online ordering and help you get set up and get that going. I'll be doing that myself, and we'll be sending out information on that, so we'll hope to talk to you soon. Thank you.
Okay, so that almost draws us to a close of our webinar. Just to remind you of some important dates, so the acceptance forms must be returned by post to Coláiste Mhuire Johnstown on or before the 3rd of December. Just make sure you have all sections complete, a full version of your birth cert, so this will be returned to you again in January. Sign the policies and tick your subject choices, and if you have any queries on that, you can email us at info@coláistemhuirekk.ie. So that concludes our webinar for incoming first years 2021. We hope that you enjoyed it and got a good insight into the running of our school. Feel free to access this webinar anytime here on our website. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in 2021.